on this season, I really like Yuri's personality.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
Yuri's drag.
Love it.
Like,
yeah.
I hope we work together, Yuri.
Yee! Well, you're in luck.
You're in luck. You're in. I love it.
That's how we'll start it. Hi, I'm Sigourney Beaver, and welcome to Obituary. Today we'll be reviewing episode 7 of season 6 of the Boulet Brothers Dragula. And my special guest, the one and only, all the way from season 3, she got the pumpkin, Louisianna Purchase!
Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here, BB. Thank you for having me.
Oh my god, thank you for being
Hey,
had!
the glamour goals of Dragula. It's an exciting season, is it not?
It is, and we're all the way at episode 7, so we're already past the halfway mark.
That's right.
And we're a top 6 going into a top 5.
Honey.
This is where it gets...
This is when the nerves really kick in, I feel, this point in the competition.
Would that happen for you, or?
Oh, absolutely. This is when they had to like really start being nitpicky about things. Obviously the nerves were like at an even higher level at this point. I was just surprised I was still in the game on my season. I was like, yay!
What was episode 7 for you guys?
It might have actually been either Hospital Horrors or Dungeons
Was it
and
this?
I think it was Dungeons and Drag Queens.
Dungeons and Drag Queens,
Yes.
which is also today's episode theme.
I love it. It was one of my favorite challenges to film on my season.
It is the challenge, the #1 challenge top of my list that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to do it, and now they've done it 3 seasons in a row, so unless they're making this the new Monsters of Rock, I'm never gonna get to do it!
I do not have any knowledge about Dungeons and Dragons. I had to ask before we did our filming, I was like, so this is like Lord of the Rings, right? And they're like, yeah, girl, Lord of the Rings. I'm like, so I'm Slutty Gladriel.
Better than being a hobbit, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah.
I really lucked out with my my role.
Oh yeah, like any elf look, much easier than doing something like an orc, a troll that requires like full body prosthetics, makeup, like blah, blah, blah.
Absolutely. Like I look back on my season and I was like, elf priestess.
And there's just us, just as bare as possible.
I had so much body showing during my filming.
Did.
I did. The crotch on my outfit was literally like this tiny.
A whisper.
A whisper. A whisper of an outfit. I kind of was jealous a little bit of people that got to do the more kind of elaborate looks, just because, it's fun to kind of, hide in that and embody that character.
Well, and just bring something so big and ultimately just a major transformation.
I basically had a staff and my genitals tucked really tightly. That was my special talent.
And just look like an elf all the time, naturally.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm just an elfin baby.
This episode starts the same way that it always does. We're in the lab, we get a billion shots of the room. Table, picture of the booze. Table, all light. Picture of the booze. Table, noises. That was just for Connor.
They're making sure they set the scene for us.
And it is set.
It is set.
It is set. And then it follows with everyone walking in.
Right.
Of course, everyone but 2, because we had an extermination last week.
Absolutely.
And everyone says, oh, I wonder who is eliminated. And then deep, 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 in comes Jaharia.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Jaharia.
And everyone's excited to see her except Yuri. Yuri says, oh, I love Aurora. I really got close to her. But, hey, that's the name of the game, baby. That's one less for you to have to take out.
Absolutely. You might grow close during filming and you might form attachments, but the name of the game is for you to be the last diva standing.
The final girl.
The
final ghoul.
The final ghoul, absolutely.
Yes. The episode format that we've seen this season has been so stacked. They've been so full that having an episode like this where we don't have a fright feat, it seems almost skinny.
Yeah,
but this is just like all the other seasons, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this episode definitely seemed to have more breathing room within it, for sure. It wasn't like, the episodes have been pretty chock-a-block full of content, and this one was allowed to breathe a little more, which was nice.
Yeah, but not too much breathing. Because then we get the challenge issue, it gets the Dungeons and Drag. Whee!
And then all the contestants' necks are stepped on immediately, yes.
Well, but that doesn't come until the finale. That's the end of the season.
I love this challenge. I was hoping that they would bring this back this season. And I'm so happy they did. It's usually an acting challenge. On my season, we had to do like a whole scene, a couple of scenes. They split us up. And I love to act. I love to talk. So it was great for me.
Well, they find out that not only are they having to do the floor show like they would normally, meeting the challenge and how their drag applies to it, but they are also going to be LARPing. That's live action role playing.
For those who don't know.
For those who don't know. And they're going to be in pairs of their choosing, which is always very interesting to see who the leftovers are. But pairs of their choosing, and they have to choreograph a fight scene. Ooh. And then they get to take a field trip to the Ren Fair. We love the Ren Fair.
We do love the Ren Fair.
We love the Ren Fair. They get to take a field trip to the Ren Fair, and they get to shoot their combat scene with their partner at night.
Very nice.
We didn't get to take like any field trips.
Oh.
Well, because we were just like at the end of COVID.
Oh, that's very true.
So we didn't get to go anywhere.
That's true.
And the only time that we got to go to the Ren Fair, we did the clown race there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which, iconic. Iconic. One of my favorite Dragula moments, hands down.
Which part? Was it my beautiful hair balancing on the only vehicle that had 3 wheels? Everyone else got 4. I had 3. And Drac said, well, are you going to take your shoes off? I said, no.
No.
And she said, well, what happens if you got to like stop really quick? And I said, girl, I'll break my ankle in a stiletto on this bike before I'm caught barefoot on camera again.
Absolutely. Little FYI, I was barefoot for, I believe it was for Trash Queen. When we had to do the roach blow, I had kicked my heels off already and for leverage. And when I won against Dahlia, when I blew the roach right into her mouth and her titties, and Israel raises my hand up as, you know, to show that I'm the champion, I realized, oh my God, I'm barefoot, I have no shoes on, and then my wig immediately fell off. Dragula.
That truly, like, where's the horror? Where's the filth?
Right there.
There's where it is. That is exactly where it is.
Ball-headed, that's the horror.
Yes.
That's the horror.
And the Boulets do it right, and they roll the dice for everyone so that they learn their race and class.
Yes.
And it's very interesting. Anti-troll druid.
Ooh.
Yeah. Gray, goblin warrior.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. And then Yuri, a troll warlock.
Okay.
In which I have to say, I have to put on my little nerd hat. I would love to know if Yuri came up with any kind of backstory and could tell me what their patron is for their warlock.
Absolutely.
If you know, you know. And Pi, orc warrior.
Yes.
And then Asia, tiefling beastmaster, which is one that's like a lot of people aren't super familiar with because it's not like in the first couple editions, like all of these new like races and classes that you can get.
Yeah.
So tiefling, very cool.
My favorite descriptor, tiefling, what was the tiefling
Beastmaster.
That's a new drag name. Tiefling Beastmaster.
Or
Welcome
just Beastmaster.
Or just Beast, yeah.
Yeah. Best for last, we have Jaharia as the elf wizard, which is what I always play. I always like to be an elf because I like to have the special abilities that come with it.
Absolutely.
And I always want to be a spellcaster because duh.
Who doesn't?
Duh. Well, I don't know. A lot of people like to just do like melee and do like warriors and just like, you know. I mean, Mick is always like, make me the berserker! Like, I'm gonna go in and just smash everything, which is great.
Yeah.
But I'd like to sit back and be like, let me accidentally blow up everything.
Yeah, I want a staff, I want magical abilities, and to me, that is like, that's the best character.
And they're off. They're off in their pairs. They've paired each other up. It is Auntie and Gray.
Yes.
And then it is Pi and Jaharia, because they work so well together. They decided to work together again.
Yeah, because they worked together the last episode.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
Well, actually, they said that they've worked together on every team, like every group challenge that there's been, they've always been on the same group.
Same team, okay.
Yes, so they know they work well together, which is very smart. And
that
then
is smart.
The scraps, well, what?
I mean,
Yuri
it's true.
and Asia.
Yeah.
That's just how, and I they said it first.
Yeah.
In words.
Yeah. They said scraps. We did not. They said it first.
They're off to go and choreograph their fight scenes, which is very different to choreograph a combat than it is to choreograph a dance.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's a little bit more element of like accidentally actually hitting someone.
Yeah, there's an element of danger. You want to make sure you are being safe. You want to make sure you're not, hurting your partner. And yeah, it's a much, I feel in some ways more difficult than just filming like straight up acting or like, a choreographed dance, for example.
One of the little like, da, 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 da. But this part you have to be like, and a kick to the face.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, don't hit the moneymaker, mama.
Yes. So they're off, they're rehearsing. Jaharia really is taking the lead again. She's the choreography. We know that. We've seen that.
Absolutely.
And she said, this time, I am going to be looking out for myself and I'm going to make sure that I really sell it. She's like, I'm coming up with it and I'm going to make it.
Yes.
And smart.
That is very smart. Yeah, you do have to, you're with a partner, but you have to make sure that you look good.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, they were judged individually.
Absolutely. They're not gonna, you don't win Dragula in a pair.
Not yet.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. I mean, there's a first time for everything.
Maybe.
Isn't there? I don't know. At one point during the rehearsals, Auntie is feeling bad after calling Gray too quiet in the lab earlier. Gray notices there's, Auntie's a little down and they do their sweet little pull aside over to the couch and, what's up, Duck? They bond over sobriety.
Absolutely.
Auntie's sober, Gray is sober. Gray also talks about that's why he has that streak in his hair.
Yes.
As a reminder. Very neat, very cool.
Yeah, I loved hearing about that. That was a very sweet moment, for sure.
Well, and it's something, it's like, especially in this industry and in the drag community, it's a rarity to, performers that are sober. You don't find a lot of them.
Yeah. I don't drink myself. I haven't drank in like 6.5 years. So yeah, it's not that it's like a huge rarity, but it is kind of to meet and kind of connect with a fellow, drag performer who doesn't drink either. And it's very nice. I will say it is very nice. Getting to connect with other performers who are kind of in the same boat as you.
I'm not sober, but I have a very strong no drinking and dragging policy.
Yeah.
Because number one, I'm at work. Number two, I'm not graceful naturally. And I don't need anything else helping me fall on my face.
Same.
Besides gravity. And I'm so scared of getting hurt. I'm so scared of getting injured. Like one of my biggest fear fantasies, I'm out there, I'm twirling, I'm giving it, something gives out and I'm down and I'm hurt and no one knows and they're all clapping, they think it's part of it. I'm screaming on stage and it's like, they find out something's wrong and then everyone's, and then what are they gonna do? They're gonna pull me off, they're gonna call an ambulance. I hate having to go to the emergency room in drag in a wig.
Oh.
It's the worst. It's the worst.
I've not had that experience, but I am very active. Yeah, I'm very lucky. I am active on stage, splits and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, I can't be on stage inebriated because it's just gonna look a hot mess, very hot mess.
Well, and also like traveling, it's, like you're not always performing on a stage that or that you've been on and where that like rickety cricket board is or that hole over stage left that will take your heel right off you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Or there was that one club, where was that, in North Carolina, and I got there and they're like, look out for that part on the stage, it's like slippery. It's taped, there's like a box like taped around it, but it's just really slippery, don't step on it.
Absolutely.
And I was like, that's weird.
Yeah.
And then I made sure to be conscious of it for my first number. And then my second number, I accidentally slept on it, and sure enough, woo! Did you work there? Did you do it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, the slippery box.
Yes, and I just remember, I'm also really blind, in or out of contacts and glasses. You normally have your spotlight right up in your face, and I am a diva that will utilize a guardrail if I have to.
I'm clutching.
Absolutely. I'm clutching on it. I'm doing all my tricks off of it, lifting my leg above my head whilst holding the guardrail. I've sliced my knee open doing a split on a pop-up stage, and that metal line where it connects just sliced it right open. Yeah. Drag.
And so they bond over sobriety.
Yes, yes.
they bond over being sober, and it seems, Auntie apologizes, and we really see a connection. And it's nice to like start seeing this because at this point, these people have been together, grouped in together day in, day out for a while. And we are seeing more clearly the relationships that are starting to form between these performers.
Yes, you see who is connecting more with other cast members at this point for sure. Yeah.
And then they're right off to their field trip.
Yes.
And the Boulets come out in this beautiful candelabra. I love it when they do asymmetrical looks.
I do too.
I love when they do asymmetrical.
And this is absolutely one of my favorite looks I think I've ever seen them in. The slicked back pony.
This is the best that drag has ever looked. I don't know if she like changed the shape of her eyeliner or like what it was, but like I saw her, I was like, oh!
She looked absolutely stunning. I feel like the lip shape was a little
that
different, but it really looked good on her.
So good.
But yeah, the visual
wax,
field.
yes. Oh, so cool. So uncomfortable looking, but all the best drag is.
Honey, yeah. If you're suffering, then
you're stunting.
9 times out of 10, you're stunting. That's right. The name of my 5th book. If you're suffering, you're stunting. Buy it on Kindle.
Our first group that we have up is Auntie and Gray. Now these two understood the assignment.
Yeah, I think these two, big shocker, right? They checked every box. And then when you have 2 contestants who are like the skill sets are matched.
High skill
set.
Yes.
And then you have Gray having worked in Haunt, so you know
these are our actors.
How to act and he knows how to move his body. Both looks were stunning, like complete chef's kiss. I literally was watching them do theirs and I was like, so this is what it's like to have no notes. Yeah, Diva, this is amazing.
Have you ever seen perfection?
Have you ever seen drag?
They're so detailed that with all the movement and everything, I feel like I'm not even able to take in and appreciate every small little thing. And I mean, we're talking like both of them. Prosthetics, like Auntie's got mushrooms on her and she's like the tattered, she has like a little jar off a belt that's like full of eyes. Her staff has got like spider webs in it. She's very much, druids are very earthy and she's giving earth.
That's why
Mother Earth.
That's why I specifically love them too, because you could tell they are knowledgeable. They know what these characters are, what they need to bring to the challenge to bring these characters alive, and then also their skill set. Gray was much more kind of like the colorways, everything was much more kind of earthen and kind of, and then Auntie was just like all these amazing colors. And again, my favorite touch, the little spot of mushrooms growing out of there. Like, honey, another reason why I love the art of drag is just when you have performers who are at this level and they start like adding the little zhuzhes and the touches and the details, that's what really, like, I'm at home going, oh, that's good.
And of course, Gray has this gnarly, nasty looking, like spiky, like mace, and everything is green. Auntie's blue. Everyone's a different color this episode also.
Yes.
Yeah. Embodiment of warrior.
Absolutely.
So good.
And Gray is like, my Texas baby. Hi. So we love Gray.
We love Gray.
Yes.
Love Gray. Has his signature gray matter, this incredible skull helmet, and then you see the brain right there. I love that this has been a constant this whole season, and now I expect it for the rest of your life. Our second group that we have up is Pi and Jaharia.
Yeah.
And this was our choreography group.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because as we found out in earlier episodes, like Jaharia can dance, can move.
She's a mover, a shaker.
Fantastic choreographer.
Jaharia is like all over the place. She's like doing little spin kicks on the ground and like flying through the air. Pi has this like massive like battle axe. So cool. Jaharia is green. Pi is blue?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, like a bluish green with the tusk. Pi's looks are also some looks that I've really loved this season. And mainly for like the volume of the looks. Like the looks are big and bold, which I love.
Well, and Pi's a tall girl too.
Yeah. I'm looking at everyone, and yeah, this is like airbrushing, body painting, applying of prosthetics, and then we're not even talking about the costume.
These are all so detail heavy.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like I really won't be able to get an appreciation for it until I see the still photos.
Absolutely.
And can do all my like zooming ins on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah, these are very fun looks to kind of dive in and take closer looks at for sure.
Jaharia's gold sequin. I believe in Judgment they did call it like Disco Wizard later.
Crazy disco turkey.
Yes.
Which is, I like.
Like, I do come from this school where like performance takes precedent over look. And in my mind, I do feel that way. But again, we're at that nitpicky stage where the look has got to match the performance. And, you know, the sequence did take me out a little bit. And this is coming from the diva that for her Dungeons and Drag Queens, I wore silver lame. So,
and
you know.
barely any of
and
it.
barely any. It fit into like a business-sized envelope. I'm trying my best here.
But then we have our last group.
Yes.
Yes. And that is Yuri
Yes.
and Asia. Yuri looked unrecognizable. Amazing.
Yuri's look really brought it. I loved like what they did with their face and then with the hair. Also, it's like, I don't know how they did it, but I didn't recognize them because even his face seemed bigger.
Yeah.
Like the proportions were like completely changed.
It was a full-blown transformation.
Yeah.
Also green. Also green.
Lots of cool colors. Cool skin colors this episode. Absolutely.
And then our only like non-green or blue is Asia.
Yes.
Asia's a tiefling, which are, you know, a demon.
Yes.
And has horns, is red, has this like bodysuit. Her weapon.
Yes.
It's a bow and arrow. That is not
which she
arrowing.
requested. She wanted the bow and arrow. I heard her mention that she wanted that. You get these ideas and you're like, okay, I want to have this and I want to have this and that. And then you get them and then you realize, oh, I've never actually used an archery set. I've never done a bow and arrow. So watching the episode and seeing her struggle bust so hard with that bow and arrow. And I was just like,
yeah. Have you ever shot a bow and arrow?
I am born and raised in Louisiana. I grew up on like 15 acres of farmland. So I absolutely was proficient with a bow and arrow to the point to where I was only allowed to shoot it in certain areas because they were like, your mark's a little too good. And we don't need you to accidentally like shoot a rogue like cow or horse that's out walking in the pasture. You know, skill set you haven't seen yet.
Well, Dave, it's too bad you had a staff on your first time
I
around and not a bow and arrow.
I should have done the bow and arrow.
Yes.
But yeah, no, when they told us, I remember like we could pick our weaponry of choice. I absolutely was like, yeah, I'm gonna grab a staff. I'll grab a staff.
I used to play D&D. I've played a lot of D&D over my life. I used to play when I was much younger, when I was like in middle school or something.
Yeah.
And over COVID, I actually got to join a group, and we played D&D, and we streamed it on Twitch.
Oh, cute.
And it was called D20.
Oh, I love it.
Mickey Mirage was our DM, fabulous.
Yeah.
And then it was me and Mick and Connor, and then it was Joe Mama and Trashly. Do you know Trashly?
Yes, I love it. I fully admit I never played Dungeons and Dragons. I was always aware of it, but like in high school, instead of playing D&D, I was getting DP'd instead.
Hey! But then we get to Judgment.
Yes. Our special guest judges are
David!
Yes, David,
yes.
who is such a sweetheart,
amazing
actor.
Sweetie, a real pal. I went to his Halloween party last year at his house.
David, and then the winner of my season of Dragula, Landon Cider, Daddy.
The King of Drag Kings.
The King of Drag Kings.
As he was titled, yes.
Honey. And if I'm not mistaken, Landon is wearing the look that he wore for our Dungeons and Drag Queens episode.
Our top two are Auntie and Gray.
Absolutely.
And also Pie.
And also Pie.
As a third.
And I'm very much in agreement with their top 3.
Yeah. And then our winners
Yes.
were Auntie and Gray.
Absolutely.
Very solid, clear yes.
Deservedly so. Deservedly
Absolutely.
so.
Our other 3, for some reason, they just like didn't like Yuri's very much. And it was something where just like, well, you shouldn't have been green if you were a troll.
Yeah, and this is where like the nitpicky.
Aye. This is also like, this is open to interpretation.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Art is subjective.
Right, absolutely. And yeah, I really liked Yuri's look.
It was amazing. It was so good.
Yeah.
But our bottom 2
Yes.
are Asia
And
and Jaharia.
Yes.
So, anti-heroine, you got your wish. Asia's in the bottom. She's gonna go through an extermination.
Absolutely.
But before that part, everyone goes back to the cauldron, as always, and they do. And, Asia's like, I'm good. I haven't been in the bottom. This is my first time. Jaharia, you've already done this before.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, do you want to go up against someone who has never faced an extermination? I think I would be a little more nervous to go up against someone who has experienced it and then overcome the exterminations. That would make me more nervous than someone who was going in maybe for the first time, like you. I would be more afraid of you having experienced exterminations than someone who is like, has no idea what it's like. I feel like once you kind of go through an extermination, you definitely get this like sense of strength that like you've overcome this like very nerve-wracking thing. So I don't know. How did you feel after your exterminations? Did you feel like, I can take on the world, mama?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, but it's also, that was the mindset that I had going into the entire competition. You know what I mean? I was like, y'all can't put any more pressure on me than I've already got.
Absolutely.
And also, they're not gonna send me home.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the extermination that these 2 have to face is also a very infamous Dragula extermination brought back. The tattoo challenge.
Which, neither you or I know anything about that.
But the tattoo that they have to get is different than seasons past.
Absolutely.
Because yes, it is one that is chosen for them, but just like everything else this season, this extermination is very stacked.
Absolutely.
There's a lot more twists and layers
There's
to
layers,
it.
yes.
And there's Cynthia, she's back, and she's there to present them with riddles. There are 3 riddles. There are 3 different parts of the tattoo.
Yes.
For each riddle they get wrong, they get another part of the tattoo extended.
Yes.
And it is... I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't like this.
It's a choice tattoo, that is for sure.
Old saggy baggy titty wizard.
His pendulous breast hanging over a sign.
What does the sign say?
I don't remember. Yeah.
Oops.
What did the sign say?
I don't know. I didn't write it down. Well, the sign said...
Dragula noob.
That, I feel, is such a cute little addition to the extermination challenge with the riddles and everything.
So Cynthia's giving the riddles. They're both getting them wrong. Comes to riddle number 3. Asia gets it, and Jaharia doesn't. Jaharia has to finish the tattoo.
Yes.
And Asia's sitting there, and she said, well, I'm a bad finish mine too.
Yeah. Your opinion, though, if you got the riddle right, like, I would be like, Diva, if you've already done, like, 3/4 of the tattoo pretty much, I would be like, just finish it. No, you'd be like, no, I want it half finished to show that I got these answers right, Diva.
Mama, do you know how many cover-ups I've had already? I think I've got like 12 or 14 cover-ups like on my body.
And then we find out.
Sweet baby Jaharia is exterminated.
Our dancing queen, the dancing diva of Dragula season 6.
My favorite confessionals.
Yes.
The best confessionals.
Her confessionals are good. She also looked great for her confessionals.
The jacket is so cute, the coat.
I loved Jaharia's energy this season. I thought she was an amazing addition to the Dragula family.
Dynamite performer. Do you want to say
good.
anything to her in here?
Jaharia, I just want you to know that you had a fantastic run on your season. I am so happy you're part of the family. If I had like a little hanky, I would be dabbing my tear ducts right now. Our dancing queen. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Acting! Jaharia went home.
She sure did.
Asia survived.
She lives to die another day.
She lives to die another day. And now we are at, next episode will be top 5, honey.
Yay! Top 5!
Yeah, this is when it gets to the meat and taters of it all.
What's taters?
Oh my god, everyone in Dragula loves that phrase. Meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes. You get another,
The whole enchilada.
Get another phrase! Yes!
The whole enchilada.
I'm so tired of hearing about meat and potatoes.
Yeah, I don't even like meat.
But I do love a potato.
I do love a carb.
Any form it wants to take.
We are the carb-loving divas of Dragula.
Carb queens. Carb queens.
Carb queens, honey.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for
Oh my
being
God,
here
thank
today.
you,
This has been
Siggy.
so good. This has been so fun.
So much fun.
You're a peach and a half.
Seeing you.
Oh.
I love being a fellow glamour ghoul with you, Diva.
See, there's people that like me.
Glamour ghouls unite, Diva.
Yay!
Glamour ghouls unite. I love it. But yeah, thank you for inviting me to your most excellent funeral home, I would say. Yeah. Y'all, thank you for supporting Dragula.
Yes, yes.
I rarely get to go on camera and be like, oh my God, the viewership, the people who watch Dragula, y'all have changed my life. And yeah, just continue to show these contestants lots of love. Support them when they come to your local city.
Yes.
Buy their merch. Continue to watch.
Make fan art. That's my favorite.
Make fan art.
I love the fan art. That's my favorite.
You know what? I'm very lucky, and I think you are similar. I've had the great honor of people tattooing my face on their bodies.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, there's gotta be, I've seen maybe 20, 30 Sigourney tattoos. I'm not even kidding. I will show you. I will show you later. Oh, it's crazy. It's so cool.
I've not seen a bad one of me, thank God, because I would cry. That's not coming off, mama.
Oh, that's how I feel about it. You know, I get messages from people that would be like, would it be okay if I had you tattooed on me? And I'm immediately all caps, duh!
No, to all the fans out there who want our signatures on their body, let us sign paper, take that to the tattoo artist, and tattoo off of that.
It's hard to write on skin.
It's very hard to write on skin, and I've signed lots of different body parts for people to get.
I've signed a lot of stuff. My favorite thing in Kansas City, someone brought their strap on, and I signed it. They were like, I brought this because I want you to sign it. And I was like, that's the fan base I want. I want to sign your strap on. And I really gave it to him. I was like, I'll smell it first. Well, that's all the time we have. We've definitely spent way too much already just yipping and yapping.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you so much for viewing and supporting the channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. It's free to comment and it's so fun. And Connor loves reading them.
Yes. Tell us how beautiful we are.
Or not.
Or not.
Just comment or something. And come back next week and join us for episode 8 of Obituary.
Yee. We did it. Now I need a poo. I just knew I wanted to twirl my staff around, and I knew I wanted to do a roundhouse kick, and I did both of those until they had to cut the roundhouse kick because the little lady made an appearance when I did
twirling the other staff.
I was twirling the other staff. While I was twirling this staff decided it wanted to twirl as well. And I just remember the director, after I did the roundhouse, was like, that was some sort of genital. Not quite sure. Not quite sure what it was, but I did see something.
And that's what I like to hear my body referred to as, is some sort of genital.
It's some sort of genital. We see a flesh color.
Can we say genital on YouTube? Where it's medical!
It's medical! That's right. We are a educational program. Be sure to tape that crotch down good before you do a roundhouse.
Safety first.
Safety first, kids. I could possibly. Let's see. We're rolling, right?
Get right down here.
Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, we're good. We don't want to repeat, but you know.
Or do we?
Like a good. Ooh, that was crappy. That was crappy.
Was
Let's
crappy?
see. We'll use a cute little roundhouse moment. I mean, also my trick is doing this, so I'm pretty flexible. And serving, can we say
We can bleep it out.
Right. Serving severe feminine beauty.
Serving genitals.
Serving genitals. Your lovely alternate contestant number 4, Louisiana Purchase. Serving genitals.
Will you tell me about the ribbon?
Oh, yes. So, you notice this beautiful little red ribbon on my arm. I was not a thief on set. Like some other people might have been in past seasons of the franchise.
It was an accident.
It was an accident. But our scroll that that I read from to announce the campaign was tied in this red ribbon. And I remember untying it, setting it down by me, and then reading. And once we were done, Israel requested the scroll back. Well, I handed it to him and then saw the red ribbon and without thinking just put it in my pocket. And it's literally the only thing I took from set. So I thought,
ta-da!
ta-da! Yay, I went on Dragula and got a red ribbon.
Truly was an accident. I don't know how this happened. I think it got like wedged in my dress somewhere somehow. I don't know. But when we were in the haunted house for episode 1, they had the part where they locked us in that teeny tiny box. I was so scared the whole time. I said, I swear to God, if they fill this with water, they will have footage of me dying. I will die.
Yeah. And
I was so nervous. And then it started to like tilt back and I was like, oh my God, here comes the water.
You're like, this sucks.
I'm gonna, and I said, and then the back of it drops out and you just like into a ball pit. But it's so scary. It's so scary because like, you know, they don't tell us like, we have no idea what's happening or like what's gonna happen or, you know.
Yeah.
And it was just, it wasn't even like a long fall either. I think it was something like 4 feet, but the ball pit is full of these like black like balls and they're not tiny either. They're probably about like this big. I don't know how I got one. I don't know where it got lodged in or on me.
Yeah.
But I have it at home. I have it at home sitting in the drag room. It's in a little drawer.
I love it. I do like tchotchkes and knickknacks and mementos. So
Trophies.
Trophies. I wish I stole more.